Hi there, I am Elena Valdez. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Today we are going to focus on natal chart. What is your natal chart? Okay, favorite topic, of course, as you probably know by now, I love astrology. So natal chart, essentially what it is, it's capturing where the planets and the elements of the sky were when you were born. Now, depending on the time you were born and the location that you were born, that will determine where these planets and elements fall in the scope of your chart. So it could, various planets can fall at different, either the first house, the second house, the fifth house, what have you. And essentially what it becomes a blueprint of you. And for those of you who have been fortunate to actually see your chart either on paper or on the screen, you know that it's fascinating. It's fascinating to know that at that moment when you were born, this is where all the activity, this is where everything was going on, and this is where it falls on your personal chart. Very similar to seeing your fingerprints for the first time. It's kind of a sort of awe moment. And even twins who are born minutes apart have very different and unique charts based on the time they were born. So it's fascinating. Now, the one thing, though, that I do want to point out on, and just it's something I like to tell my friends and just remind them when we're talking about astrology, is that our natal chart is not a predictor. It's not a predictor of this is who you are going to be, or this is what you must be, or these are your only things you can be or do in the world. No. A natal chart, essentially what it is, it's telling us where our possibilities are. It's pointing to our possible strengths and our possible pitfalls, our possible flaws, and the areas where we can reign high. But it depends on how we center that focus. I really want to make this point clear. Yes, natal charts, they're a real thing. Those personalities and where those planets fall, it's for real. Now, your will is what makes it happen or not happen. So just remember, keep that in mind. It's very similar to a blueprint of a house that's about to be built. For example, you can have this wonderful blueprint and a plan as to how this home is going to be built or what it's going to look like. However, if the force and free will and energy is not inputted into the building of this home to bring it into manifestation, then it doesn't matter. Now remember, when I talk about possibilities of your chart, I mean both the good and the bad. Yes, there might be a possibility, for example, in your 8th house, Saturn is there. So there might be a possibility where perhaps you won't be able to gain much money from others. However, there's this other wonderful possibility in your 5th house or your 10th house or your 2nd house of all these other ways that you can counter that not so great energy. It really all depends on where are you putting your energy. And this, my friends, is where free will comes in. I just really want to make that point. I think we all kind of fall into that trap of focusing on something that's a little bit negative, and we miss out on these other beautiful elements. This is why it's so important to look at the natal chart as a whole, not just, oh, my 8th house is this, my 2nd house is that, or my 10th house is that. No, you got to look at the whole picture. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to have trines everywhere. You're not going to have the Jupiters in every house. It's just not going to happen. And that's what makes it so wonderful, is that it's not all perfect. And that's what the human experience is all about, right? So I just want to say thank you again, and I look forward to creating more videos for you. Have a great day.